Here is the new RoboCam control unit. In the mini studio, it controls the two robotic cameras on your left and on your right. Camera 1 is on your left and camera 2 is on your right. This control unit is designed for professional PTZ cameras, pan, tilt, and zoom cameras. This system can store up to 100 shots per camera, storing full shot data, things such as your framing, which include your pan, tilt, zoom, as well as your focus, white balance, exposure, and more. You can recall any preset shot instantly using a numbering system that you define. The first thing we should go over is understanding the interface of the board. The board is made up of a few panels. Each one of these is its own separate panel with its own specific use case. The first one you will need to work with is up here. There are 10 buttons. Only 2 will be active at all times. This is where you choose which camera you want to control. This board can control up to 10 cameras, but we only have 2 cameras in this studio. That's why only the first and the second button are turned on. Whichever button is orange tells you which camera is currently being controlled. Right now, camera 1 is being controlled via the joystick. The joystick is our second panel. This is where you'll be able to make camera movements to frame your shots or to make live camera movements while you're recording. This is a PTZ joystick. You can pan left and right, tilt up and down, or you can also twist the top of the joystick to zoom in and out. If you hold down on the top button, it will reset the camera's position to default. This is your numbering panel. This is where you will store and recall shots that you number. Once I frame a shot using my joystick, I can recall that shot instantly. In order to store a shot, you must first make sure that the direct recall button is turned off. I will frame my shot, and then I will choose a number to assign to that shot. For example, number 1. I will click on number 1, and then I will hold the store button until the interface turns white up here. Now number 1 is stored. In order for me to recall that shot, I have 2 options. Either to click on number 1 and then click on recall, or if I have direct recall enabled, then all I have to do is click on number 1 and it will automatically jump to that position. Keep in mind that the direct recall will only work for 10 shots, the first 10 shots stored. If you have a shot, for example, shot 22 stored, you will need to turn off direct recall, click on 22, and then hit recall. Another thing that is very important is that you make sure this green button that says active is turned on. If this button is turned off, then the whole panel will no longer be functional. There is a green active button on the top of each of these panels. Same thing with the joystick. If this green button is turned off, then the joystick will no longer work. This is there to ensure that you don't accidentally use a panel that you don't mean to use, but it can cause confusion. If you think things aren't working, make sure that the green button is turned on for all of your panels. This panel controls a few things. It controls the zoom and the zoom speed. It controls the focus, whether auto or manual focus, and the speed of the focus. And it also controls the iris, the opening of the iris, and whether or not you would like to enable automatic exposure. Right now, our camera 1 is set to autofocus, so it'll automatically grab focus. If I would like to, I can turn that off, and now I can manually grab focus using the knob. Adjusting this smaller knob over here will control the speed by which you are grabbing focus. This over here controls zoom. If I push down, I can zoom in, and if I push down the other way, I can zoom out. This small knob also controls the speed of the zoom. This knob is very useful to grab some cinematic zoom-ins and outs, so you can control the speed of how fast or slow you're zooming in and out. Adjusting the speed on the zoom knob over here also adjusts the speed when you are zooming in and out using the joystick. Finally, this is your iris knob. This allows you to control the aperture of your camera. You can open or close the iris. You may also choose to turn on or off the automatic exposure. Turning it off will allow you to manually set your iris. Turning it on will adjust all of the exposure settings on the camera to automatically set the exposure. Over here, you have some color settings. Using these two knobs will adjust your white balance, and using this knob will adjust your master black value. You may also adjust settings like iris, gain, and shutter from over here. Simply click on the setting you want to adjust, and then twist the value knob to increase or decrease that setting.